2022, it saw the second highest number of data breaches of all time. All time. Only 60 breaches short of 2021's all-time high.
Last year, there were over 1,800 total compromises with more than 422 million victims.
Yeah, that's more than 1.2 times the total United States population. That's a lot of people.
There are pieces of information most likely targeted in data breaches. We're talking about your name, social security number, date of birth, current address, driver's license or state ID number, medical history, and the worst of all of them, your bank accounts.
And listen up, these are the top compromises of 2022. If you have an account with any of these companies, you need to be checking up on your information. Twitter, Neopets, AT&T, Cash App, Beetle Eye, Receivable Performance Management, FlexBooker, iCare Leaders, and Advocate Aurora Health.
400 million people is a lot. Chances are you are one of those who was targeted in an attack last year. Maybe you're worried about the impact on your financial future. That's why Brandon Lewis with our Verify team is looking into how these data breaches can impact your credit score.
It feels like every week we're hearing about a new data breach. One Verify viewer says they were recently notified that their personal data was compromised, and soon after they noticed a decrease in their credit score. They reached out to us to ask if their credit score can drop just because they were part of a data breach. So let's verify. Our sources are credit scoring companies FICO and VantageScore, the Consumer Data Industry Association, and the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Credit scores are meant to predict how likely you are to repay a loan. Both FICO and VantageScore say they use your payment history, amount owed, the length of your credit history, recent credit applications, and the types of credit you currently have to calculate your score. Whether you've been a victim of a data breach is not considered. So, no, your credit score won't drop just because you were part of a data breach. However, if you do notice a drop of more than a few points in your credit score after a breach, that could indicate that someone opened a new line of credit in your name. Our sources recommend regularly monitoring your credit report for unfamiliar activity. If you notice something suspicious, then contact the lender and the credit reporting agency to request an investigation. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
I mean, chances are you've been a victim of a data breach at some time before, or maybe you just want to learn how to better protect your information. Well, ahead of Saturday being Data Privacy Day, we talked with a cybersecurity expert about what you can do to protect your data.
First basic thing is that if you're setting up an account online, you got to have a pretty strong password nowadays. You got to be something that's more than 8 characters, and it's got to have a capital letter, number, symbol. Create a phrase that you can easily remember, like, you know, I love my wife, or my dog's name is Snow, or something like that. And then just put a number and the symbol right behind it. It's pretty easy to remember, and it's very, very hard to crack. The second thing is, if you're shopping online, we say this every time, do not use your debit card. Use your credit card to keep your information secure. If you are somebody who just doesn't have a credit card that you can use, reach out to your bank, because most banks now offer like a temporary card that you can use just for online shopping, that you can just kind of move some money over to it, and it's not tied directly to your debit and your bank account. Third one, this is the one we're running into a lot still. You're surfing on the web, and all of a sudden your computer just starts screaming at you and beeping like crazy, and these 800 number just popped up and said, please call now, your computer's infected. It's a scam. Just hold the power button on your computer for about 10 seconds, let it completely shut down, and then just hit the power button again, turn it back on, and go on about your business. Your computer did not get infected. You're perfectly safe and secure. Next thing that we would say is in regard to those emails that you're getting that are trying to get your information, and what we say is trust your gut. The biggest one that we're seeing right now is people are getting emails with attachments that say, oh, by the way, you have an invoice from Best Buy for the Geek Squad, or maybe it was McAfee, or maybe it was Norton. If you didn't think you signed up for it, you probably didn't, so don't worry about it, and just keep on going about your business.
Okay, so that's your privacy. What about your child or grandchild? One study a few years ago found that by the time a child turns 13, There are more than 72 million data points that have been collected on them. Anna Werner introduces us to one mom who learned about those vulnerabilities the hard way.
Can I have some color?
New York mom Katie Taramiji bought what she thought was a cool toy for her daughter Aubrey a couple Christmases ago, something called a fuzzable friend.
You hit the button and it speaks in its own special language. Then you ask, hey Alexa, what did my fuzzable say? And Alexa
Says like it wants to play with toys or something.
It's the kind of fun a connected toy can make possible. But buried in the terms and conditions, which her mom says she never read, Creativity Inc., the company whose technology allowed the fuzzable to connect to Alexa, disclosed they collect anonymized information about their users and could generate transcripts of what children were saying.
I don't like it at all.
It's just one example of a growing trend, say nonprofit researchers at the U.S. Public Interest Research Group, or PIRG. Their recent report says smart toys bring new risks, including microphones and cameras paired with significant data collection. PIRG's R.J. Cross.
Having any data collected on a child that isn't strictly necessary is really reckless and unsafe.
Because often, she says, that data, although anonymized, is sold to advertisers, and she and other experts say it can be used to create profiles of children just like it can for adults. Even educational tech products can have privacy risks. When Human Rights Watch analyzed 163 educational computer learning products endorsed by 49 countries during the pandemic, 146 of them, some 90%, were found to have put at risk or directly violated children's privacy and other rights for purposes unrelated to their education. The Electronic Privacy Information Center, or EPIC, is calling on the Federal Trade Commission to strictly limit data collection on children.
It's just not really realistic for parents, as you say, to be able to parse these legal documents, understand what's happening technologically.
The FTC declined to comment. Amazon told us the third-party Fuzzable Kids skill is not currently available for Alexa customers, so Alexa cannot interact with the Fuzzable Friends toy. The device is not built by Amazon and does not have Alexa built in. Taramiji says she'll be paying more attention to the fine print from now on, but doesn't think she should have to.
I should be able to trust the toy makers that are putting the toys on the market. You assume they're looking out for your child's best needs.
Again, the top things to remember to keep your data secure: make strong passwords, use your best judgment online, and shop smart.